How's it going, guys? Today we are checking out the Crkt Slacker. Now, this was a knife I was interested in checking out. It was actually on a list of knives I had, 10 knives that I wanted to have this year in my collection, and here it is. So we're going to check this knife out like we always do. We're going to go over the pros of the knife, the things it's doing well, the so-sos, the little nitpicks, and then the oh-nos, the possible deal breakers. So let's check out this knife from Crkt. As always, we're going to get started out with the spec check, and then we're going to kick it off. Here we go. There's your spec check. Now we're just going to kind of slack off for the rest of the review. We're just going to run through the things and not be as detailed and just kind of go from one thing to the next. We'll see. It gives me a chance to play around with a little bit of a different format, see what you guys think. So let's start out. Size comparison. Normally I do a size comparison snapshot. That's not going to happen right now. I'm just going to drop one knife in here to kind of show off what the dimensions are. There you go, 940. Handle length, really similar. Blade length, really similar. And even just like the thickness of the handle is pretty close, and your blade stock's pretty close. Both aluminum handles, both deep carry clips. So there's your size comparison. And on to the good things about the knife. The design. I like the way it looks. I think it's a pretty attractive package that Ken Onion put together here for you. A few things work really well on the knife, and that's going to be like this diamond checkering here on the handle, if my camera will focus. Apparently I'm not the only one slacking. There you go. So with it being an all-metal handle, those can get slick sometimes, but this actually provides a fair amount of traction. It's done really well. The placement's good, and it's not too aggressive, so when it goes in and out of your pocket, it's also nice. Speaking of that, it rides in the pocket nice. It's a lightweight knife. It's pretty slim this way, not too thick that way, so it's a good pocket rider. So the design is good. It carries good. The blade shape is pretty useful. I like this kind of a drop point, almost a Warncliffe-ish blade. It's got a nice tip. It's a full flat grind, so very, just overall good user. The jimping is done really good. The placement of the jimping is excellent. When I hold it in my hand, my thumb falls there, and that's where it needs to be. When I want to do like tip work like that, also forefinger falling on the jimping. So great job on the jimping design. And does that wrap it up for the things I like about the knife? Pretty much. I do like the field strip technology. I do like it. I'm going to just kind of do it real quick. Watch this. Boom, and real time, my knife is disassembled. And okay, I take it apart, wipe it down, and let's see if we can get back together in good fashion for you. And this is just mostly focusing through the camera as well. Normally that makes things a lot harder, but hey, we're doing this for you guys. Alright, I think I got that. I got that. Click it back. Does it work? Yep, it works about as good as it did before I took it apart. So you noticed the action there, and we'll touch on that in a minute. So, you know, field strip, yeah, pretty good. Overall design, pretty good. In hand is really good. The ergonomics, jimping is really good. Carry is really good. Now, going into the action of the knife, I don't like it. It does okay if you do like the push button, but it is on nylon washers, and part of that might be because of the ease of cleaning. But it's kind of sluggish, and it leaves you hanging sometimes, especially if you go to light switch it. Your push button is okay, but it's sluggish, and there's not a lot of fun there. And I know that's not supposed to have that, but at $80, I feel like there should be a little more bang for your buck with the action. Part of that is also going to be the blade is off-centered, and what's funny is this exact knife has been reviewed by a few guys, and it seems to have walked itself closer and closer to that way by the time it got to me. Now you can't play with the pivot, but then you're losing any kind of flippability, and it just usually does something like this, ends there, ends there, ends there. So, you know, I don't know if that's something that's just kind of worked its way through. The lockup is kind of late. Let's get on it real quick. It's a little bit more than what I like it on a newish knife. And there is a little bit of lock stick. Let's see if you can hear it. Alright, well that was an out of focus mess, but there is a little bit of lock stick that I get on here. Not much, but it's noticeable enough. It has that little bit of catch. I tried to get it on camera, but that was a disaster. So we're moving on to the next. So it's off center. The action is kind of sluggish. A little bit of lock stick. So those kind of things are leaving a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. The biggest thing that I'm not liking about this knife is the $80 price tag. I can see why it is, because there's a lot that went into the field strip. It's got the nice design, the aluminum handles. The blade steel being 4116 is, at that price point, I'm a little perplexed why they went with that. I know it's got its uses. It's very corrosion resistant. Banner 24/7, when he did his review on this, he actually seemed to embrace some of those features, and he's looking at this through a different lens, and I can really appreciate his point of view. So I'm going to link his video down below. He kind of looks at this knife differently than I do, and I think that's a good thing for all of us to do. So if you guys want to go look at his review, follow that link. But in my opinion, I think Crkt could have really had a home run, and I guess that's one of the big things is I expected this knife to be great. I wanted it. My expectations weren't met, and that's kind of on me for having my own expectations before I had the knife. But I really think that this knife it would have been a different knife if it was the way I want it to be, but I would really like this being on IKBS with the flipper. None of the field strip, just a fun knife. The design of it is good. I think I'm the only jackass that can't flip this knife. But everything else is, I mean, pretty sound on the knife. It's okay. It's typical Crkt, a little bit off center. Action can be a little finicky. The detent's not quite dialed in where I would want it to be. But the problem is it got an $80 price tag. And for me, there's a lot going on at $80 that would leave me a lot more satisfied than this. And I think a lot of people too. I think if you got this particular example and had the experience that I had with it at $80, that might leave a little bit of a meh feeling overall for this knife. And that's where this knife is at. So at $80, do I like it, love it, or leave it? Well, I like the knife. I like some of the things that it has going on for it. But at $80, I'm leaving it. This was priced at $50. It would be like. If this was placed at $30, it'd be a love. If this was $80 with IKBS or something else going on washers, it would probably be a like as well. So that's my take on the knife, guys. Didn't leave me feeling super excited. You know, not a review I look forward to doing because I did want to like the knife, and overall just left me feeling meh. So there you go, guys. Yeah, you know, not super in depth. I slacked my way through this whole thing. Let me know if you liked it or if you guys want more details. And obviously, guys, if I missed anything or you're like, well, what about this? Just ask down in the comments. I'll let you guys know to the best of my ability. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, have a good one. I appreciate you stopping by and giving me your time. We'll see you really soon. I got another knife that I actually kind of like coming up. So stay tuned, guys. Later. First and foremost, I like the design of the knife, but I think it's whoop, blood on camera. All right, hold on back.